Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the middle of the Scottish countryside, and once again we're away to document a piece of history on the Aberlemno road between Brechin and Forfar in Angus, Scotland here. And this bit of history I'm way to document we've never seen before, because I only found out about, well actually it was probably about a year ago I found out about it, but it's the sort of place if there's crops and that in the field you can't get to it. And I'm not really sure how much there's going to be to see here. It's more the story of the history here, which is pretty cool. Because around here, Aberlemno is famous for the big carved stones, the big Pictish stones. But a small interesting detail kind of that goes along with that, this gathering of trees here in the field has to be left, because it's actually an old Pictish burial ground, this. That's why I thought it'd be so cool to come and have a look. Because look, the conditions is, it's all just like mud. There's no crops actually in the field yet. So I'll just make my way across and we'll document this piece of land, folks. It's just a fun short video to see something that we've never seen before. And it's like mad, because a lot of fields has got bits like this in them, in Angus and stuff, and often they were planted to like keep wind off a certain area, or just to break the wind that was flowing over the land, for animals if they were in the fields for protection. But the interesting thing with this gathering of trees was that it was the Pictish burial ground, which is so rare, and it's something that we've never seen on the channel. You can just think what bodies are like, the ancient history from this, like the bodies will be buried literally under here, and there's no marker or anything to say what it is. It's only because I got intel from a local farmer that used to actually live in this area, and I was told that they weren't allowed to do anything with this bit of ground because it was actually the Pictish burial ground, folks. And here we are standing on it. What a special place this is. And just look at these mounds in the ground here. You can only imagine what is under our feet right now. Wow. It's like history from like more than 1,000 years ago or whatever. And it's just mad that there's small remnants of it here still today. The fact that the farmer doesn't actually plant any crops here, and the trees and stuff's left, and the bit of ground's left out of respect for that history from such a long time ago. But the mad thing is, there's probably burial grounds from like the Pictish times all over the place that are now gone. So it's cool to see this one, and you get an idea of the sort of bit of land where they would have had their burial area. There's some amount of stones here. I believe they've probably been dumped from the field over the years, maybe causing this to be such a rise in the ground. I do apologise for the wind in this episode, folks. It's a mad, like, stormy winter day out here, but we're out here doing the adventures and it's so cool. It blows me away that each week I can keep finding like new things that I've never seen before on a video. And like when I drive past this one, I often think about it being the Pictish burial ground. I just thought today we'll have to stop and have a look, and I'm always curious just to see what's actually here. And it is interesting to see the way the ground kind of has got the lumps and bumps on it. This tree must have recently fallen. With a bit of ground like this, it's so exposed to all the weather and the wind. It's an unusual shape, but with an area like this also, you don't know how many years the farmer's been dumping stones and stuff on it. Again, these trees look to me like they were planted maybe in like the 1920s or something. So you can imagine, I'm not sure what was on this bit of land before the 1920s. Another thing you can imagine, the burial ground would have been here in this bit of land, like before the field was even an agricultural area. So it's crazy just to think of the land like that. You can actually, maybe it was all forest, and this was like a small mound in the forest. Up this hill behind me, there's an old fort as well, which I believe is the Finavon Hill Fort. I'll have to go there in a future video as well. I'm literally holding the camera in a crack in this tree now, just to keep the wind off it. Like from a distance, it just looks like I'm standing speaking to a tree right now, folks. Unreal. Yeah, there's some big massive stones here, but I'm not sure if they were actual markers. Like at that Aberlemno village, you can see the proper big Pictish carved stones. and this was the Pictish burial ground to go along with that. So there you go, more history documented on the channel, and that's the reason you'll see this bit in the field. I'm pretty sure you call this bit of road the Carscowney Strait. But yeah, you can see the size of some of these stones there. It's a crazy winter adventure, and just a short one to document that. Like I say, it's not got any like mad crazy buildings and stuff on it like we often see, but it's cool to hear that variation all the way from the ancient history of the Picts, because I've never seen anybody recording this on YouTube before and talking about it being the Pictish burial ground. And I think if I hadn't gotten told from the local farmer, I would never have known either. And so it's so cool to keep that history alive through these videos and like share it with people so they know what's on their doorstep in this Angus area of Scotland. And it shows the ancient history that was around Scotland as well. Angus in this area, and Angus especially, it was just like one of the main like hubs of the Picts. It was one of the main Pictish areas of Scotland. Look at the way this dry stone dike's constructed as well. All those little thin stones just built in like that. It's got such a cool character, and it's been standing for so many years. So there we are, folks. I'm back in the car out of that freezing cold wind, but it was cool to document that. A Pictish burial ground right there, and that's the reason it's left, and the crops are no put onto that bit of land. Even if the farmer wanted to put crops there, he's not allowed, I think. I'm sure that's how the story goes. But it's something different, because we've not seen a Pictish burial ground before. I've seen loads of the standing stones and documented them, and I might link one of the Aberlemno stone videos at the end of this one so you get an idea of the Pictish history of this area, because one time I was in the museum and that along the road. So yeah, I'll link that at the end of this video, folks. But I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll be back very soon with the next adventure, wherever I end up going.